The FBI now refusing to expedite the release of documents about secret meetings that took place between former FBI Director James Comey and former President Obama. The FBI statement reads in part, quote, "Such information is not a matter of widespread and exceptional media interest in which there exist possible questions about the government's integrity, which affects public confidence." If you had any doubt about the corruption of the FBI, that statement alone should answer all of your questions. Reports have surfaced that Comey held at least one secret Oval Office meeting with President Obama on January 5th of 2017. Comey never divulged that meeting to Congress. Our first guest tonight says the decision is a remarkably arrogant and condescending position for the FBI to take. He says the matter is clearly of broad public interest. And joining us tonight, Chris Farrell. He is the Director of Investigations and Research for Judicial Watch. Chris, good to have you with us.
Hey, Lou.
Let's start with just the idea that the FBI would have the guts to put out such a statement, and there isn't a reaction from Congress.
Not only not a reaction from Congress, but frankly, there should be a reaction from the Attorney General, who directs their activities as a subordinate agency.
I gave up on that a long time ago, Chris.
And you have good reason to do so. But at this point, one would think he would rise to the occasion, given the president's rather severe criticism of him. And of course, the White House, I think, needs to chime in. Look, these guys are not some sovereign entity within the United States. They're trusted public servants. They're outrageously arrogant and condescending.
If they are trusted now, if I may say, Chris,
sure.
If they are trusted by the public, the leadership of the FBI now, the leadership of the Department of Justice, there is absolutely no excuse for the American public to do so, and every reason why we have to, in my judgment, as we've discussed, I mean, we've got to get to the bottom of this, and what we are watching is an FBI that's not only corrupt, a DOJ that's not only corrupt and politically corrupt, but we're watching organizations that are willing to stonewall the very oversight committees responsible for them, constitutionally responsible for them, as you often remind me, and we're getting no response. Is there nothing the President of the United States can do to change this?
Well, the President of the United States can do an awful lot. He can ask Mr. Sessions and Director Wray to go away, and he can do that, at his discretion. He does not need cause to do so, despite certain White House counsels by the name of Dillon lying to the president. But besides that, I encourage your colleagues in the media, various journalists of whatever stripe, to camp out and follow, ask questions, press Director Wray. I don't know if he's in a bunker or if he's not responsive to press inquiries.
Well, I can tell you he's in a bunker. There is no question about it. He is also perfectly willing to lie to the American people, to the Congress, to the President, to the Attorney General, if that's relevant in his job. He simply says that the FBI is just fine. There is no corruption issue. Everything is just hunky-dory in the view of Christopher Wray.
Well, this is another exhibit, frankly, in my call for the abolition, the dismemberment of the FBI. The U.S. Marshal Service has served honorably for 225 years. They could create an investigative arm or a division of the U.S. Marshal Service, and agents who pass a vetting or screening process could lateral over to the U.S. Marshal Service, and we could do away with the FBI entirely. That process would take 6 to 8 months.
Well, it's an idea certainly whose time may well have come, given the level of corruption and disaffection at the FBI and DOJ. Let me very quickly.
Something's got to change.
I couldn't agree more. But I've got to answer two quick questions as we wrap up here. The critical Intelligence Committee deadline for Comey, for Brennan, for Clapper has come and has about gone. The deadline set by Chairman Devin Nunes of the Intelligence Committee. Now we're hearing from the staff of the Intelligence Committee that they got some documents, but certainly not all. We don't know if they've got a little, a lot, and they have been given, those three stooges, if you will, from the Obama administration intel days have been given further time to meet the strict deadline of Devin Nunes. Your reaction?
Look, this is another stall tactic. It's an attempt to, muddy the waters yet again. Those three guys know exactly what they said, did, heard, who they met with. This is just more dishonest double talk.
So what do we do? I mean, what does Congress do?
Nunes should go public. He should have a very clear declaration of who complied, who didn't, who's in contempt of Congress. These people have got to be pressed. We cannot allow the same routine double talk to go on. Okay. We're really at risk of a collapse in this regard.
Well, we're certainly at risk of a constitutional crisis, and it seems to be unfolding before our very eyes. Chris Farrell, thanks for being here.